Hello everyone, welcome. This is part 2 of our color along in Wild Winter for Mythographic of the Month Club. So I left off with this blue frozen tree. I finished up getting the blue in and I got part of this tree done, but I need to go in with my white gel pen and everything, so I haven't got quite that far. But I thought today I would go ahead and do a gradient background and get the background in and maybe a little bit of the snow down here, and that will kind of help us see what we have left and what colors we want to use. So I'm sticking with like the cooler tones, so I'm gonna go with, I don't even think I'm gonna pull blue. I'm gonna go Pale Sage, Gray Green Light, and Cream. And I might add a little white or something toward the top. We'll see how it looks once we get going. So I'm going to start with my Pale Sage at the bottom, and I'm kind of planning on these being green, but not as light as green as this, which is why I thought the background might help pull some things together here. I did a nice green. So I'm just going to kind of split this background into thirds with my eye. Doesn't have to be perfect. If you want darker at the very bottom and all your lighter toward the top, you can do that as well. Pink and orange would be pretty with this blue tree. And it looks kind of silly to have a green sky, I know that, but once we get the yellow in, it'll look a little more like a morning sky than just a random green sky that I'm putting in now. I'm trying to dodge all my snow here, so I'm going to go to about there. I think that's about even. So I'm going to work around this little plant here. Okay, Gray Green Light, and I skipped like a whole section here. Okay, Gray Green Light. And I am going to go over the top of my other color as well, just to blend the two colors together a little more. So back blending and bringing up. So I might add a little dark yellow to the top up here, now that I'm looking at it. Okay. Make sure I'm on camera here. I kind of want to stay zoomed out a little so you can see how it's building up. I'm not really doing anything special to need to be zoomed in to see. So we're just kind of working it here. Sorry about the noise. So I did decide on mine. Oh, and I broke my tip. But I'm going to do all my trees this frozen blue. So I'm picturing this frozen blue on both sides, and this green is hopefully going to pop out. Great. Okay, so making sure I'm somewhat even, doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. And then we're going to come in with that cream, pardon the noise again. And I think, so, I'm going to go over the top a little to blend them so there's no straight lines. For our gradient. The important part about gradients is you choose colors that are very close together so that the transition is minimal. The more colors you're trying to get to, the more, like if you're trying to get from red to blue, you need to go through all the colors, not just skip. And you'll get that nice gradient effect. So don't be afraid to use a bunch of colors. I haven't done a large scale gradient on video, but I probably should. They are fun to look at once you get them done. Hardest part is keeping all your blend lines out of sight. Alright. So you can see where my yellow, I don't know if everybody has this problem or it's just me, but my yellow tends to pull up the ink. So I try my hardest to avoid touching that ink with this cream. My sky blue light does it a little too. And I see there's stars, which means it was probably nighttime. That's okay. This is what I had my mind set on, so this is what we're doing. I gotta fix this spot right here. It's gonna drive me crazy. We got like a little speck of blue. Just perfect. Trying to blend it out a little. Hide it without making it too obvious. Okay. So at the very top, I'm going to put a little bit of yellow. Not lemon yellow though. So this is just good old canary yellow, and I will probably bring some white over this as well. Getting blue everywhere. I will probably do my stars blue to bring back in this blue, so that it's still our main color here. I might also do stickers, so we'll see. Okay, so again, we're coming down over that cream a little. Blending out those edges. Okay, so just kind of making sure everything is blended in nice and smooth here. I don't necessarily want this yellow to just look chopped off though. Bringing it down past this arrow a little here. All right. There is my background, and that yellow still looks a little harsh. So I'm going to bring just a little bit of white in. I'm just going to tone that down a little. So it's not as hard on the eyes. There we go. That feels a little better. Okay, and then as we get some more colors in, this background won't look so out of place. So we get some of this green built in down here and whatnot. So I am going to pull a medium cold gray if I can find mine. I'm not sure how my desk is already this messy, and it's only the first week of January because I just cleaned it off and everything for the new year. Fresh start, put all my old books away, started with new projects, and I've already tore it up. Give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about the bumping. I'm gonna bring it down. Okay, sorry about the wiggle. Okay, I'm going to bring in some gray for the simple fact that I think I'm going to make these Arctic boxes and not orange boxes. And I need some color. So what I'm going to do is I see all these lines down here that make snow mounds. So what I'm going to do is very lightly, I don't want a harsh gray, is behind the lines like they're creating a shadow. So behind all the lines. And that will just create some feeling that these are leaving shadows here. Okay, sorry about that. So I'm gonna get over here. Gets a little dicier over here trying to find all the snow. So I'm just going to kind of do the best I can and catch the ones I see. We can always come back. We know we're using a medium cold gray, so if we need to come back, we just pull that pencil. Okay. Next, we're going to take, if I could get some stuff on the floor, just a little bit of the non-photo blue. So we're pulling in this color from the tree now. You can use a little more purple violet if you want, like blue lake or blue slate. Those make for beautiful snow as well. I'm just going to see how this goes. Might be a little light with my gray. Where this line splits right here, I'm going to add that little gray because it's a shadow. It's a dip in the mound there. Okay. Thought I seen it stop recording. That would be my look. Okay, so it's looking a little weird, right? We got these weird lines of color. No real aim or purpose here. So I'm making sure to work around the snowflake best I can. I think that's a leaf area right there, so I'm going to come over where these little lines are. I'm going to add some over here because there's just kind of nothing here. I want my ground to be consistent-ish. So notice I'm not coloring in the whole gap right because I still want some lighter colors and white in there. I'm going to color this bubble as if it's see-through when I get that far. So I'm going to go ahead and just build some lines through it so I remember what I was doing. Trying to turn me instead of the book so I don't make anybody motion sick with all the ways this goes. Okay, and then we're going to take that same light blue. And I'm going to turn this just a dot and very lightly small circular motions. We're going to start at the bottom of that gray and we're going to pull it upward. Now, not all the way up, because we want some white to make it look like fresh snow fell. Okay, it's just like that. We start at the bottom in the gray, circular motions, pull upward. Some of these spots are trickier than others, like this one. But you can always do two things. You can come back with your gel pen and white out your black lines. Or you could come in with a white and kind of just lighten the very top of that so it still looks like fresh snow. So just kind of putting my little white in there. Now, like I said, some of these areas are a little like iffy because the lines just quit or disappear or don't connect. So we're just going to wing it best we can. When you stop and think about the whole picture we have going on, no one's going to be like, hey, your snow is not looking right there. So we're just going to do the best we can. Okay, so same over here. I'm still on camera here. I have a bad habit of getting into it and start turning and twisting and forget to check it. Sorry about that. Dryer's done. Okay. So I will probably still bring in my white gel pen and get rid of some white lines and things, or black lines, white lines, goodness. I want to make sure I do the bottom of this snow right here so that it will look whiter up top. The thing to think about when you're doing snow, if you ever get stuck, is the lighter snow is on top and it causes shadows on the bottom. So the snow will always look blue or gray toward the bottom where it's all piled up and frozen, and the fresh snow will be white. And I don't know that I pulled my gel pen. Oh, I did. So like in these areas right here, we will just take our gel pen kind of white out those lines, and it will kind of match our tree, so we'll bring those together, but it will also give that more of a snow look. See how that works? I'm getting rid of those black lines, of course, and then I rubbed it off with this, but I needed to blend around it a little better before I did that. Like the spot right here, we're going to get rid of this black line. And you know, the bigger and rougher you make it, the bigger it just looks like that pile of snow is, the deeper. So again, kind of like the tree, a little time consuming on the ground part, just getting rid of the lines and blending everything out, but worth it. So we're going to come up here and get rid of this one. I skipped this whole section right here altogether, so let me quickly... If you don't like the gray, you can always just do your blues. It will give you a little lighter, more whimsy snow feel. Again, I just wanted to bring in a little gray so it wouldn't be out of place when I did my foxes. And now that I'm getting my lines built in and I can kind of see where the top of the snow is going to be, where the bottom of it should be. So I'm going to add a little gray in here because I'm going to end this little snowdrift here. Same over here, just going to add a little gray. And that's actually a hidden object, so I'm kind of just going to color over it. So I don't really think I need a tin can sticking out in the middle of this scene. If you like to color them and find them and keep track, go for it. But okay, I'm going to wipe the top of those. I'm going to leave all that alone for now. I did forget to blend this can in though. Okay, so that is going to be that. So I'm going to pull out and let you see what we worked on today. This is kind of a shorter one, but I'm going to finish up the sky and the trees, and then when we come back we'll just have this main stuff to play with. Okay, sorry about the wiggle. There is where we are so far. Hopefully you can see the snow at the bottom. We got our nice little sky put in, kind of a morning feel. Again, I see there's stars. You could take those as magic or maybe lightning bug dust, or you could make it a night scene. I didn't want to go super night with my tree, so I went for more of a morning look. We got some snow here. We could even bring down a little yellow like it's reflecting when we get that far if we want, but here's where we are so far. Questions, comments, anything like that, please let me know, and I hope to see you next video. Bye.